Calgary-based freelance writer and best-selling cookbook author. She writes about people, places, and most of all, food, one of all of our favorite things. Please welcome Elizabeth.
Hi, okay, let's go. So I am a food writer, so you would think I would talk about this, right? That's what you think about when you think about food and maple. But on a personal note, I actually started my career as a music writer. So for me, starting off, that's not what maple meant to me. It meant more along the lines of this, which I think we're going to hear about later a little bit. But that's the symbol that you see on the back of records to notify if it's CanCon or not. So for me, that's what maple was thinking about music, writing about music. But, you know, that only lasts for so long. You know, I got to hang out with guys like these, which was fun. And, you know, all your other favorite Canadian stars. But then I had a baby, and I could not hang out in rock clubs until 3 a.m. anymore. So I moved on and started writing about food. So when we think about, you know, maple and food, I think about Canadian food. You know, here we have a nice piece of salmon with some maple syrup drizzled on it. But when I really think about what my idea of Canadian food is and what built that, I think about something kind of specific. And these are my rock stars of Canadian food. Do you guys know who these ladies are? This is the Best of Bridge. These women from Calgary, 8 originally, then 7, these women wrote their first cookbook in 1975, so it fits well with this, which coincidentally is the year I was born. So this book came out, it has existed for the entire time I've existed. So this is my idea of Canadian food. Who grew up with this book? Did you guys have this book in your house? This is a particularly beat up copy, but I've also seen copies with like pot burns and they were all written in this font and self-published. And it was just these women had great recipes that and their friends said, you should do a cookbook. And so they did. And over the course of their careers, they sold 4 million books, which in cookbook terms, let me tell you, is a lot. It's a lot. And sort of on a personal, again, I'll divert to a personal note. I actually got to join the Best of Bridge group. So there's a new line of cookbooks out, partially written by me, which is kind of a dream come true, but this isn't about me. Their legacy is what Canadian food is to me. Before they started writing their books, for a lot of people, this is what cookbooks looked like, were those Jell-O salads. But then the ladies started giving us Canadian recipes that I think a lot of people still make today. Did I say I was born the same year as the Best of Bridge came out? So 41 years later, people are still making their recipes, and there's some people's definite favorites. One of them is hamburger soup, which is still the most requested Best of Bridge recipe. This is classy chicken, which was deemed classy because it had asparagus in it. So, I mean, asparagus, actually great asparagus grows right here in Alberta, but in 1975, asparagus was not considered a particularly Canadian ingredient. And then this is the grand dam of them all, the Christmas morning lifesaver. Which, the name is goofy. The original ladies will give that to you, but I tell you, I look at our website traffic, December 24th, spikes through the roof. So to me, The Best of Bridge is not only a story of Canadian food and how a lot of us started to learn how to cook. To me, it's a story about entrepreneurs in Calgary, and it's a women's story. These women are tremendously successful businesswomen, and I think that's something they don't get credit enough for. So I consider myself a feminist. I never thought my official job title would be lady, but I'm proud to be a Best of Bridge lady because their legacy, I think, is a real story of women's success. And there's other great Canadian women like Elizabeth Baird, an Order of Canada recipient, who was the food editor for Canadian Living for years. Connie D'Souza, who's a local chef, who's just doing great things for women's food in Calgary, and she's on Top Chef Canada right now. So I think there's a very through line from Best of Bridge to women like Connie. And does anybody know about Mrs. Nimji, who did a book series called The Spicy Touch? She's basically also a Calgarian. She's basically the Best of Bridge of Indian cooking. So she's self-published, and she sold a ton of books too. And a lot of people outside of the Ismaili Muslim community don't know that much about her, but she's amazing. And she recently rebooted her series too with my friend Karen Anderson. If you've seen this book, A Spicy Touch, it's really, really good. I really suggest checking it out. They even sell spice kits so that you have everything you need. So, I mean, going back to Canadian food, maple still plays a big part. These are some tacos from a restaurant in Winnipeg called Feast, run by an Indigenous chef who uses native ingredients, including maple syrup. And then we think about other chefs. There's a guy in Montreal called Antonio Park. He's was born in South America to South Korean parents, and for the last 2 decades, he's been cooking Japanese food in Montreal. Can you think of anything more Canadian? So he does things like he does sushi with Angus beef with maple syrup drizzled on top. And then, of course, we still have this. Because it's all Canadian food, it's all delicious. It doesn't matter what the influences are, but if we're cooking in Canada, it represents us. Thank you.